US Positioning Systems here with the training video on how to use our equipment with the Esri Collector app. In particular, this is going to be demonstrated on an iOS device with an iPad. So the three things we're going to cover is how to connect your Aero product line receiver to Collector so that it's receiving the metadata straight from the receiver. Then secondly, we're going to show you how to create a correction profile for SBAS work with an Aero 100 or an Aero Lite. And then thirdly, we're going to show you how to create an RTK correction for using RTK networks with the Aero 200 or the Aero 100 or the new Aero Gold that's coming out soon. So first, let's come up here to our box that has the arrow pointing up, and we're going to choose Settings. And this is where we're going to do all of our manipulation. Here you can see this location grouping of accuracy, provider, and location profile. This is new with the August release of the new version of Collector. Accuracy, you can go in and you can tell it what it needs to have as a minimum accuracy to allow you to be able to collect data. We'll just leave that at 5 meters for now because our concern is provider. We don't want the integrated receiver from the GPS inside the iPad. We want to connect it to our Aero receiver. And I've already Bluetooth connected in the settings for the iPad to an Aero 200. So to create this correct connection within Collector, we're going to tap the plus button. And you can see right there, there's my receiver. So I'm going to tap that. And then if we're doing work that doesn't really have an importance level for the elevation, we can just leave this as blank. However, if elevation data is important to you, especially if you're doing RTK work and using a 2-meter range pole, we need to put in an elevation height for the antenna. For a 2-meter range pole, you're actually going to put in 2.095. This is the correct height that we need for a 2-meter range pole. And I'm going to choose Done. Now the important part here is that little check button next to integrated receiver. We actually have to tap our new Aero receiver so that it's bringing in the corrections and the metadata from the receiver straight into Collector for us. So we're going to tap Settings and go back. Now part 2, we're going to work on our 2 location profiles. The first one we'll look at is the SBAS corrections straight from the satellites. So let's tap Location Profile. What we're going to do is right now it's on default. We want to hit the plus button to create our SBAS version. Now the first thing that we need to do is we need to set up the corrections that the receiver is receiving. In this case, SBAS straight from the satellites. So what we need to do, the quick way, is to type in GCS and then IT. And then it's easier just to get rid of the keyboard there because what we want is GCS ITRF 2008 right here near the bottom. Now it wants to know what the coordinate system is for our map. If you're using the default map inside Collector, it's going to be projected and it's going to be Web Mercator. So first choose projected, and then the quickest thing is just to type in web, and 2 versions will come up. We want the top one with the sub number 3857. Let's tap on that guy, and then let's just go ahead and zoom in here to North America and tap the right arrow button. Then it wants to know what our final profile transformation is going to be, and that's going to be this top guy right here. So choose this one. Let's give it a name. Let's just call it SBAS and hit save. Now again, the trick is we got to actually check it to activate it. But if we hit our little information button there, you can see this is what we want to look like. We want the receiver information coming in to be ITRF 2008. We want our map coordinate system to be set to Web Mercator. And then our final datum transformation is going to be ITRF 2008 to NAD 1983-2011 plus WGS 84 ITRF 208 to NAD 1983-2011. Okay. Now that we've got our SBAS corrections for, say, our Aero Lite or our Aero 100, let's go back and now let's create a correction profile for doing RTK work. So this is if we're using any one of the Aero receivers to receive RTK corrections for centimeter level accuracy, and we're receiving those most likely through cell service straight into your tablet or you could hotspot it from maybe a MiFi device. So let's go plus. Similar thing we're going to do here is we're going to type in GCS NAD 1983, and we want this guy right here, this 2011 sub number 6318. So we're telling it that the receiver's information coming from the RTK network is in the coordinate system NAD 1983 2011. Now again, it wants to know what our coordinate system is for our map, and we're just going to use the default. So we're going to tap projected, and then let's tap in web Mercator, this top guy here. We'll zoom into North America, the right button there. And then our final profile that we want is down here towards the middle. It's WGS 84, ITRF 08 to NAD 83 2011. Let's tap that. And let's just call this RTK. Save. Now we have to actually select it, and let's look at our information button here. And again, we can see our receiver coordinate system from the RTK network. Those corrections are coming in as NAD 83 2011. Most likely, most states in the US use this particular coordinate system, but definitely double check with your state to be sure that this is the exact coordinate system that they're broadcasting corrections in. We're using the default map for collector, so that's just web Mercator. And then our final datum transformation here, WGS 84 ITRF 08 to NAD 83 2011. And the beauty of this is it's going to line up our location that the receiver is showing us with the map inside collector, so everything looks nice and smooth and you look like you're standing exactly where you're supposed to be standing. So thank you for watching our video today. Please look at our website. We have a lot of other information, and contact us if you have any questions about the Arrow product line or how to use our Arrow receivers with Esri's Collector app. Thank you.